pretty eye, me take them.
Damn, chick, you doing another song for pretty eye?
I can't deny her though. They my bestie. She's my bestie. That's my bestie. Your pair of eyes had me paralyzed. Toxic nigga, but you made me to a better guy. Smoke, but with you on forever, ever high. Could watch you all day, girl, like you televised. They think like this nigga, they ain't never lied. I lived the beaches alone, I had to pick a side. Look in your eyes, girl, you were hypnotized. Of course, it was your breasts, hips, and them damn thighs. Close my eyes, I'm still mesmerized. Trying to get mad at my bestie, I tried. That's my bestie, my pretty.
I heard she's the one, she's got it going on. That's my pretty eyes, baby. Yeah, yeah. She don't take no mess. My bestie is the best. That's my pretty eyes, baby. Yeah, yeah. I heard she's the one, she's got it going on. That's my pretty eyes, baby.
Pretty eye, goddamn. Goddamn, sooner or later I'm gonna have a goddamn pretty eye me take them.
Damn, chick, you doing another song for pretty eye?
I can't deny her though. They my bestie. She's my bestie. That's my bestie. Your pair of eyes had me paralyzed. Toxic nigga, but you made me to a better guy. Smoke, but with you on forever, ever high. Could watch you all day, girl, like you televised. They think like this nigga, they ain't never lied. I lived the.
Okay, I don't know what's going on or why my thing is tripping. Hold on, I'm trying to do my intro.
Pretty eye, goddamn. Goddamn, sooner or later I'm gonna have a goddamn pretty eye me take them.
Damn, chick, you doing another song for pretty eye?
I can't deny her though. They my bestie. She's my bestie. That's my bestie. Your pair of eyes had me paralyzed. Toxic nigga, but you made me to a better guy. Smoke, but with you on forever, ever high. Could watch you all day, girl, like you televised. They think like this nigga, they ain't never lied. I lived the beaches alone, I had to pick a side. Look in your eyes, girl, you were hypnotized. Of course, it was your breasts, hips, and them damn thighs. Close my eyes.
Okay, I guess I'm not playing my intro. Anyways, hey, what's up, everybody? So, another case that I'm covering is the ynwmelly trial, and he had a motions hearing on the 18th. So I figured, because I was watching Rocky's waiting on Rocky's acquittal, I missed it. So I figured I would go over it today. So give me one moment. I can't believe he's been locked up for 6 years. That's wild to me. Anyways, 6 years with only one trial is wild to me. Okay. He don't look happy at all. He's over it.
Okay, let me go back on the record. This is on the top of my page 3, State versus Vermont. 1908-72 CF10A. I got Ms. Collins, Mr. Griffin's present for the state. I've got Ms. Liberty, Mr. Davis, and Mr. Aarons, and Mr. Benjamin. Present for Mr. Devlin, who likewise is present. So today was on all. pending motions based on our last discussion, the last time we were all here. I had asked that each side just set do notice of hearing what motion you want to do here. The only notice of hearing that I can find that was filed by Ms. Liberty, February 8th, 2025. It noticed 8 motions. Number 1, defendant's motion for order to show cause. State of Florida's ongoing willful and flagrant violation. Court dated February 9, 2024. 2, motion limited to exclude James Howard as relevant and immaterial detention communication calls. 3, motion limited to exclude a relevant and immaterial TikTok video of lead page. 4, renewed motion to take deposition of Christine Bradley. 5, defendant's motion to strike from the alternative response to the state of Florida's motion to allow former testimony of Felicia Holmes. 6, motion for scheduling. 7, amended third motion to compel forensic images of the deceased phone. And 8, motion to compel. So that's what I wanted to get done today. State, I'm being told that there's a medical issue with Ms. Buckley. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, she's on that. And what's your position as far as what you want me to do today?
Judge, the other issue we have, and I wasn't present for the hearing Friday afternoon, but my understanding was once a a notice of hearing deadline for Friday 5 p.m. It was moved to Friday 9 p.m. because Ms. Liberty was stuck in court and needed time to prepare it. The notice was not actually filed until Saturday, so they failed to comply with the court's requirements. So at this point, the state's position is no notice of hearing was properly filed and there's nothing to be heard today.
So you don't want to do anything.
This also why we have to be properly filed.
Defense, Ms. Liberty, what do you want me to do?
The funny thing is, the great thing about those cameras in this room is everything gets recorded. I did say Friday at 9, and then I actually stepped back because I knew I was setting myself up for failure next week. I do it Saturday. Taylor then responds, oh, as long as we get it before the beginning of the next business day, which is Monday. So they've had it. Most of these motions, Judge, were filed for over a year. I will bring the court's attention because last night in preparation of this, I know the last time we were before, they objected then about hearing motions because they were filed under the tampering case. Yet they've filed several different motions saying it doesn't matter what case number are on the motions because the discovery is interchangeable. I'm quoting exactly the language from their own motion. So it's good for them when it's convenient, and now it's not convenient.
She seems very, very irritated, and rightfully so, because, you know, she has been representing Melly for 6 freaking years. And they are supposed to do a retrial no more than 90 days after the first one. And what's sad is they go and tackle on all these different charges on him, and so he's being dinked around, and it's not fair. And then now she's dealing with an issue herself where a search warrant for her Apple iCloud is being investigated. Why? Because there's jailhouse rumors that haven't been corroborated. And who suffers? Melly does. But it's because he's still in jail that they feel like they don't have to rush. Look, I mean, the poor guy is deteriorating right before our eyes. He doesn't have any contact with the outside world, all that stuff. And yeah, I get, like, people are saying, oh, well, then he shouldn't have done the crime. But yet, okay, there are serial killers out there that get plenty of outside contact and all that other stuff. They get phone calls. He has not had one for 3 years. And you could tell it's really deploring on him. And it's all, excuse me, it's all jailhouse rumor and not fact. I'm so tired of these courts. They just go off of what somebody says and don't really investigate. Oh, well, it's got to be true because somebody said it. You want to know how many people lie? And especially other inmates. They like to lie to get in, get out of trouble. The guy that reported, I guess, reported him about certain stuff, it has mental issues. This is just, it's just sad. It really is sad.
So there's another excuse. It's been a year. Everything was properly noticed. I will also add, there's no written order setting a filing deadline or allowing them to file a response within a certain time frame. That was oral. So as we all know, oral orders don't count for anything. They need to be written. There was no written order. I did ask to extend it. We are ready to go forward. There are two state attorneys sitting over there. Understandable. One of them is missing. Mr. Griffiths, is there something funny?
There'll be your attorney.
Ms. Liberty, you can direct your comments.
Okay.
All right, y'all
So
have
we're
5
ready.
years to talk to each other about things.
We're ready
You
to
just
go for
start.
a judge.
Okay. Listen, State, I get what's going on. I'm not going to put anyone else done here, but I read all this and I went through the entire court file in preparation for the hearing today. Most of these are fairly straightforward. Over your objection, I'm going to hear them, but if we get to some specific factual issue that you say only Ms. Buckaloo has the particular knowledge to address, you can certainly tell me that. But again, I find most of these to be very straightforward. And I think you probably would object to it. So that's over the state's objection. So, listen, let me just do them in the order that they're noticed. So number one is defendant's motion for order to show cause why the state of Florida should not be found in contempt for ongoing willful and flagrant violation of court order dated February 9th, 2024. I did read the motion on all of these. I read all the motions. If there wasn't any authority cited therein, I did review that as well. Ms. Liberty, I went on CMS yesterday and I went on Odyssey. I can't find any court order dated February 9th, 2024, nor any order that you referenced on a motion for rehearing February 16th, 2024. So if someone could show me those two orders.
The problem is that, and I think I may have put it in that motion, that you see an order from the homicide, they take the appeal, and I believe it was late December, so then you see orders coming from the tampering case, so that might be where the confusion lies, is there was a.
This is absolutely ridiculous. They keep postponing it because well, you guys wanted to take us off the case, or the old attorney, what was it, Christina Bradley? You wanted to take her off the case because some nefarious things were going on with her, and then we're gonna go ahead and while we need time, Judge, because we got new state's attorneys. Well, okay. They give them that. Then they go and file these stupid intimidation charges. Then they go and let's see, the intimidation charges. Then they go ahead and freaking all of a sudden put her under investigation. While they're waiting and waiting and waiting, and they keep on saying, oh, well, we need, this time. Then the judge retires. So we got to wait a little bit more time for him to get acquainted. I mean, it's just this case is nuts.
Two motions for rehearing. I filed the motions to compel. We came into court. The court had ordered that they comply with it. They filed a motion for rehearing. If you want, I can pull it up on the tampering case, because more than likely where it came from.
Is that what it is? I mean, I can pull it up. You tell me it's not a 19.
And for this this attorney right here to sit there and be laughing and all that stuff, I'm saying, well, we had 5 years to talk about it. Obviously, you're not that great to work with.
Yeah, that's kind of why initially I had this filed under 2023, because it would be easier for the court to file. State objected, wanted everything filed under 2019.
Hold them accountable. mean, he just looks so upset.
Or we could take that one last and I'll take a break and then pull everything up so it's there.
No, just give me a second.
I mean, you got three other attorneys. Why can't they look it up, Liberty? I don't know. Hey, Daniel, happy birthday. What's up, West Adams? Hey, Will. I don't know why I stopped it. This would run smoother if you had the other attorneys that work with you, Liberty, looking that shit up. I mean, they're just sitting on their desks. Get these men to work, Liberty. Come on, girlfriend. You should have been much more prepared, lady. So I take it he is keeping his attorneys. Quit putting the camera over there, cameraman. It would go by so much quicker if you had all this shit prepared, lady. You're moving as slow as freaking the state, Raven. Poor fucking Melly. Poor Melly. He's just sitting there like, get this over with.
Murphy enters an order on February 9th, 2024. It says this cause in the court and the defendant's motion to compel discovery filed on February 6th, 2024. When the state filed a response, the court held a hearing on February 9th, which granted. Judge Murphy subsequently entered an order denying the state's motion for rehearing. That's on February 16th, 2024. There's only one motion to compel from the defense filed on February 6th, 2024. And I'm looking at it right now, I just read it. And I don't see any reference to the four items that you put in the present motion.
Would you look and see if there was not another motion to compel possibly a week before?
Well, I'm just looking at Judge Murphy's order. He said this order is related to the motion to compel discovery filed on February 6th, 2024.
So there's actually,
That's the only motion to compel filed on February 6th, 2024.
so there should be two motions for rehearings, filed by the state going to two separate orders, and then the judge denied both of those two separate orders. So there was two motions to compel, and I believe in the one motion to compel, it was going directly to the information regarding, certain emails.
Well, did Judge Murphy enter an order on that?
Yes, so if you want to pass, I'll pull it all up so we can read it and make it a little bit more easy. I'll pull it up right, so you can go along it quickly, but there were two motions to compel, and there were two motions for rehearing.
Was there two original orders?
There should be two orders.
Okay, so we'll pass on that.
the next one would be James Howard's phone calls.
Yep, number 2 is defendant Jamel Demon's motion limited to exclude James Howard's irrelevant and immaterial detention communications. So you're talking about, this is a motion limited for trial. And I read the motion. Anything else you want to tell me in support of your motion?
This judge, it was close to, I want to say 84 hours worth of phone calls that were given to us that December. We were set for trial. I was always in possession. It was given to us that late in the game in order to make us continue it. Nonetheless, I had a group of students go through those phone calls along with myself and the investigator. When you look at the police report that was authored by Garrett Steele, it starts referencing a investigation that's being done by Danny Polo into this James Howard, and I believe the Auburn game. He, for some reason, then references James Howard in this police report, saying he was listening to phone calls by James Howard, and then he hears James Howard telling somebody on the phone call that he has to do something for Melly that day. That we had the opportunity to depose Detective Polo as well. I asked him this very question. I told him over 80 hours worth of phone calls. There was
Yeah, well,
one
Detective
phone call,
Polo
and that
sucks.
one phone call in this batch of phone calls tells us nothing other than him saying, "Oh, I have to talk
They need to get rid of that whole gang aspect because it's just dumb.
to Melly today." Not I have to do something for him. I gotta call people for him. Nothing at all. During the deposition of Detective Polo, when I started questioning him, "Hey, I went through all these phone calls. Could you please direct me to what phone call I should be looking at? What batch of phone calls?" He then tells me, "It's not this batch of phone calls. It's a batch of phone calls that would go back to 2020 and 2021. We are dealing with the tampering. I believe we're spanning from April of 2023 until August of 2023, somewhere in that time frame. Detective Polo, in his own words, was the only time that he had heard James Howard talking about Melly, would have predated the incident, i.e. 2020.
I'm not understanding what her motion is. This is crazy. What is your motion, Raven? James Howard. I'm trying to remember which one it was because I don't remember anybody listening to phone calls. And maybe I'm tripping in the first trial, so I'm not sure who James Howard is. But anyways, okay, back to him.
2021. Nonetheless, those phone calls are not in this 84 hours of phone calls.
Yeah, the board is on that. There is still the outstanding issue of whether Mr. Devitt still wants this liberty representing him. The state has raised the issue of the conflict of interest. The court has pointed that out. That was going to be one of the first things we were going to address today, and we still need to address that because obviously if he does not want this liberty representing him, then there's an issue to issue that is argued.
I mean, that's his call. I already had that discussion. So I'm sure if there's something that you want to let me know, you're going to let me know. Any response to the motion?
Yeah, so the state filed a written response, I believe it was yesterday. This is one that was properly prepared, but as pointed out in the argument, the state is not required to disclose which calls it intends to use at trial. But other than that, we are going to move on to the responses.
So I did check the docket this morning. I saw no written motion. And it's funny, Judge, that they were starting this hearing out saying they wanted to continue it because they didn't get proper notice of a notice of hearing from, I don't know, almost 2 weeks ago. But in the evening, they filed something before Ms. Buckley went to the hospital.
This is the second time. You need to look at me and address things to me. Okay? I could give you a lot of adjectives about what I think of this entire procedure. Funny's not going to be one.
Okay.
So anything else you want to tell me about this?
No, Judge, I would say there are no material phone calls that would even go to the nexus of witness number.
Okay. So this is one, and I'll enter the appropriate order to be denied without prejudice. I have no idea of what is or what is not going to be relevant. And without hearing the evidence at trial, there's no way that I could. I can't make the state try their case in vacuum. But just without prejudice, you can certainly raise the issue if the state tries to introduce any of these phone calls at trial. Give the appropriate objection, and I'll give you the appropriate ruling. But in a vacuum, having never heard any of these calls, I have no idea what the calls are, nor do I have any idea what the evidence is going to be at the trial. So that one's going to be denied without prejudice.
So, Judge, I had for the sake of report of time, emailed and asked your chambers how you wanted to proceed with some of these videos. So the next one would be a TikTok video. We can show it, or I can give it to chambers. That's what I didn't know twice in the past. We usually have provided it, and then you watched it.
Well, listen, I'll let you argue what you want, and I'll let the state respond if they want, but for all of these, it would be the same thing. I don't know what the evidence is going to be at the trial. There's actually already been a trial, and the evidence may be the same as the first trial, or maybe completely different. I have no idea. But I can't make a decision now without there being one witness, without being one piece of evidence, without hearing the answer one question in anyone's testimony. You may be right.
He just
Things
looks
may be
like
not relevant.
he's got a stick up his butt.
The state may not even try to introduce it. I can't give you a pretrial ruling, again, in a vacuum when I haven't heard it.
So how would you, I'm just curious, how should we proceed? Because we have to do the pre-trial, and since we are seeking for pre-trial rulings to keep out certain evidence that's not relevant. So the next one on there would be a TikTok video, period. We're dealing with i.e. homicide. This video is after the homicide. I don't even believe the individual in the video, which would be, and excuse me, I'm gonna see her name, Geneva Molina, doesn't even know Mr. Dennis. So there is no relevancy to the homicide and my client. If it was filed, I guess, because they have it interchangeably with the tampering, there is no, I guess the tampering was where I am.
What? Okay, so you're trying to do him like the YSL, like, so state what is up with you people that go in person? I mean, social media, and hey, no, I can understand if it's his personal social media account, but if he's being tagged, you want to know, like he was semi-famous at the time. I mean, Jesus, what are you talking about? You going under a person that you don't know? Wow. I would love to see this video. Anyways, let me.
Hamilton. There is no evidence in that video of Brian Hamilton. There is no evidence in that video of anything, period, that has to do with this tampering case or this homicide case. I believe it is the state's burden at this juncture, not our juncture. It's not relevant, period.
I don't agree with you. It's not the state's burden. This isn't the trial. So, state, anything you want to tell me?
No, we would ask Robert to defer ruling depending on whether or not it comes up at trial. Depending on the evidence, it may become irrelevant once I provide it, and we can't tell you at this time that at least we can't say we don't provide it to defense, and should it become relevant at trial, it will be subject to all appropriate relevancy objection that we can address it then.
Thank you. So, for this one, I'll enter a written order. Again, the defense motion is denied without prejudice. Certainly can bring up whatever appropriate objection you need to, whatever time you feel you need to.
Why do you keep
if
on denying
the state ever
everything?
tries to introduce it at trial, which maybe they will. So that's number two.
Just to make sure that I'm following the court's ruling, and if it comes to the trial, should I then file a renewed motion eliminate so it can be argued in trial, or will it just be readdressed at trial?
That's a check.
All right.
Number four, renewed motion to take the deposition of Christine Bradley. I could read the motion. Anything else you want to tell me?
I would just say Judge Murphy had already entered that order, which I attached December 18th. And it says, after such emails are reviewed, if defense still wishes to depose ASA Bradley, counsel shall file a written motion. So I did that, I think sometime in February, close to a year ago. I wrote it out. At this point, we need to depose her, especially in light of all the things that have came to my eye. Look who I amended this motion to.
Yeah, with all the like all the different charges now and stuff, she definitely needs to be deposed. Like, I don't understand how you get there, and a lot of times they overcharge people. They do. They'd like to overcharge people to make sure that they get a conviction one way or another. It's not cool. Um, I think that that's when the judges need to step in and say, "Hey, yo, you I'm listening to you wanting to bring in all this evidence. Well, there is no evidence that supports this charge." Type deal. Or at the end of the trial, when you're doing jury instructions, judge, hey, how about you start taking off charges? Because if they haven't proved it, they don't need to be on there. I just think you guys like to fill up the basket and overfill it, and then whatever's left in the basket after it's overfilled, um, that's what you go with. That's not no. It's not how the justice systems work. You should have you should have evidence to back up your charges, and if you don't, then a judge should be able to freaking say, "Hey, no, we're null and void that." But again, this is America, and they're all for the prosecution and not for the defendant, and until you get to trial, and then I mean, that's why a lot of people's minds are so jaded and don't realize, oh, well, it's a we automatically assume that the state's always telling the truth. No, the state's human just like the rest of us, but at the same time, they have a job to do. They need a conviction rate. They need a quota, to make sure that they keep their job.
Quite a few other things that have happened in the deposition, i.e. these emails. They get even more confusing. Your lead detective on this case, Garrett Steele, said under oath that he never read these emails. These emails are referenced throughout the affidavit and the arrest, stating that the deposition and these emails prove there was an official proceeding that Mariah Hamilton did not go to. Again, Garrett Steele said he never read the emails. Danny Fuller then says it's not his case and he can't comment on the emails. It's really unclear from reading them what's happening. And again, there were certain emails that were not even provided by the state that we later were given from other sources.
State your response.
First, that's an inaccurate statement. The emails were actually provided. That's actually in the state's response to one of the solicitor's other motions, referring specifically this one. The state filed a response back on January 2nd of 2024. We're relying on that response.
In the 19th case,
In the 19 days.
give me the exact date.
Copies furnished January 2nd, 2024.
So, State, let me ask you this. Is Ms. Bradley listed as a witness?
No.
She's not. You're not gonna call her.
No.
Yeah, is she listed by you all as a witness?
Yes.
So, the defense lists a witness, she uses the rules, and if you intend to call her.
Yes.
So, you wanna know what she's gonna say, if you intend to call her as a witness?
We do intend on calling her as a witness, because she has, I believe that because as far as, or correct me if I'm wrong, as far as the other issue before she testified, anybody, no, all right, she wasn't there. I want to
Tell
call,
me what you need to,
it's very,
give me a couple of questions you wanna ask her.
I want to get to what other emails were there that she had between Christopher Barris, showing the efforts to get Mariah Hamilton to this deposition.
So with Ms. Hamilton, that's the person who just got put on an ankle monitor.
Yes,
So let's say Ms. Hamilton now shows up and testifies What's the relevance of any of these others? Right here, she can be subject to contamination, causing.
Because we still have a witness. Depending on the tampering, we have to get to the bottom line, which means that the arrest report is referencing April 18th. It's going on to say that they looked at emails provided by Ms. Bradley that show these efforts to get her to this deposition, which is weird because we don't have those emails and any efforts to get Ms. Hamilton to a deposition. So we need some clarification from the previous state attorney when you talk about these efforts to get her to deposition. And then you're provided emails, and those emails are something totally different than what's being.
Is Ms. Bradley listed as a witness in the 23 case? Is she listed by you as a witness in the 23 case?
Not at this juncture, those took the appeal before we got that far. And this again was a motion that was pending, coming up to getting a.
Well, do you want to ask her questions about the homicide, or do you want to ask her questions about the tampering?
About the tampering.
Like she's not listed as a witness in either one, like either side in that case?
Okay. So with the tampering, this motion had initially been filed. We hadn't got to the point where we were going to do with, I had not did a witness list yet on the tampering. She is listed, however, on the homicide.
Now you,
Yes. So Judge, the rules provide I can take depositions of anybody with relevant information, which Ms. Bradley is, whether she's
yeah, I
listed
agree. So
or
you're
not
reading
listed.
me.
Because they filed a protective order and won't allow me to do it. That's why I had to then file the first motion.
All right, so Mr. Gervis, I'm looking at 3.220 subsection H, discovery depositions, and this is 1A. The defendant may without leave report, take the deposition of any witness listed by a prosecutor's category of witness or listed by a co-defendant as a witness to be called at a joint trial or hearing. That's not Mr. Bradley in this case. But then the next sentence says, after receipt by the defendant of the discovery exhibit, the defendant may, again, without the report, take the deposition of any unlisted witness who may have information relevant to the offense charge. So don't they get to take your deposition?
Except for the fact that Judge, she is a state attorney, and her role as state attorney, she's entitled to some protection to filed a protective order. In part because everything that Ms. Liberty is asking for has been turned.
See, oh yeah, they're under protection, but the everyday average Joe citizen isn't. I feel like defense attorneys should get the same privilege that state attorneys get. You have this what is it? Immunity. Well, I feel like you shouldn't be able the case that whatever you're in, and this is the way I think. As long as you're trying the case, you can't be brought charges against. When you are done with that case, you can. Like, I feel like immunity should only last for as long as you're on the case. On both sides, because this is ridiculous. I have never ever in my life seen a state attorney's office go after somebody's attorney and want them off the case because they don't like him or whatever, or they feel like things aren't going their way. I think it's backhandish. They're only doing it, and in all honesty, they're doing it because they got Christina Bradley off the case. That I really think that this whole tampering and all this other crap is retaliation for getting Bradley off the case.
Emails, whatever else that she's been looking for, has been turned over, I believe, actually several times.
But what I feel and what are facts are two different things, but it's just looking like it. Like, logically, I mean, I have no feelings in this, but logically looking at it, none of the tampering charges hit. None of the oh yes, they did. They did hit. But none of the tampering charge with her, with this attorney right here, none of that happened until after they disqualified the old attorney on this case. Like, they're upset. And it's like, okay, I'd much rather have my attorney, kicked off the case and us us having to get new attorneys than um trialing, put somebody under trial, and them not get a fair trial. Like, that's just the way I look at it. I mean, if you're going to be in the justice system, you should want a fair trial all around, no matter your side or the other side. I just think this whole oh, I gotta win type of deal is just, it ruins the justice system. People get their egos hurt and pride in the way, and it just ruins. And who suffers? Usually the defendant.
But it's luckily, again, this is one of the issues going forward today, not having her here, but she was the one providing copies of everything.
Well, she's not a citizen state attorney assigned to this case.
Is Riley? No, she's still, it's no different than if somebody is a case filer or works on a case. There are work product protections involved in terms
No, sir. The state has to provide all their work product over to the defense. You just fucked up right there. She's not she's not supposed to be working on this case, period. That is why she is disqualified, sir. You made her perk her head up real quick.
of what Miss Liberty intends to ask. And we sought that protective order because she's entitled to those protections as a prosecutor, and also because, based upon our response, that it is unnecessary. I'm sorry.
Did someone grant the protective order?
I believe that was hearing Mr. Klinger.
She was like, "You believe this shit?" Sir. Hello, sir. Like, see, this is why you guys are dirty. The attorney that you're talking about was supposed to be off the case. Why is she even working on it? She shouldn't be working on it at all. That's why she was removed from the case. But now you're saying, oh, it's a protective order, this, that, and the other. No. See, I don't like this. And she's protected, Okay, well, what about the defendant that's been sitting there for 6 freaking years? He turned his own self in. He didn't make you come and get him. And he's been sitting there for 6 years. He can't have phone calls. He can't write. He can't do anything because why? You got people that are lying to the state or whatever, other inmates, because they want to get out of it.
Conducted back in like November of last year, but I was not party to that.
So that's where we get this order coming down on December 18th. And then Ms. Buckley was ordered to provide emails. And if I was not satisfied, as the order clearly states, write the motion so I could depose her. So I've written the motion. I am looking at what she provided.
I guess last word, Ms. Liberty, I'm still not following what the relevance is.
She's not picking up.
Say she wrote.
She's not picking up. He just
Because if you go to the
told on the state's office.
Under the witness tampering, these emails that Ms. Bradley authored are specifically referenced in Garrett Steele's police report, right? He says that he reviewed emails between Christine Bradley and defense counsel coordinating the deposition of Mariah Hamilton, that she showed her numerous attempts to get Mariah Hamilton to this deposition. That is Garrett Steele's words. We deposed him. I put it in the motion. Garrett Steele then says, I never read a single email. I'm depending
I
on
mean, his report's not gonna be in front of the jury. I mean, none of that's gonna be.
I know, Judge, but when I'm moving to set up every element of this witness tampering case, it seems more and more that it was filed out of being vindictive more so than anything else. It is relevant to these emails because it is part and parcel of everything of the basis of arresting Mr. Dennis. They weren't saying Mariah Hamilton didn't show up to trial. They said Mariah Hamilton didn't show up to a deposition. The other reason I need to depose Christine Bradley because it's really important how that May 5th date was given, all right? So when we're trying to go with the premise that my client tampered with Mariah Hamilton because she didn't go up to this deposition, we need to hear from Christine Bradley and find out what effort she made to coordinate this deposition with Christopher Barris. That is why she was also supposed to turn over these emails. And guess what? When you read these emails that get turned over, Stuart Adelstein's emailing with Miss Bradley, trying to ask for dates for the deposition. There was not one single email that was provided to us in Miss Buckley's response from the time that Christine Bradley gives us dates to the time that Stuart picks them. She was not contacting Mr. Barris. That is, we can't see that at all from her emails. We finally get an email from her, April 18th, that's copying an email from April 17th. That appears to be the first email that she sent to Christopher Barris about this deposition. So for the state to not coordinate a deposition with a witness and then to cover up their negligence, turn around and file a criminal charge against the defendant, when in reality, if we got her up there, we would hear from Miss Bradley that she never properly coordinated this deposition, that she never told Christopher Barris. And all the months leading up to us trying to schedule this,
why not just call Mr. Barris? Why not call him? Because obviously they're not trying to give up Miss Bradley. They got to play protection, of course, because it's one of their own, and we know how the state plays. But they like to play dirty with all these defendants and all these defense attorneys, because they're defending somebody that did. No, they're defending a right to everybody's right to a fair trial. And by the way it's going, it doesn't look very fair when you're pulling all this crap.
Barris from these emails was never contacted, and that's what we need to depose her about, the efforts that were made from her. There is an email in here also that was provided where she talks about numerous phone calls and text messages that were sent to Mr. Barris. I don't see those. We don't see the numerous text messages. We don't see the numerous phone calls. So we need to depose her on this limited subject of what she did.
Okay. So I just read the information in 23-10594 CO10A. I'm also, I just read the standard jury instruction 21.90, which is tampering with witness, the elements of the state of that.
It's official proceeding. They don't prove it. I know that. I did the deposition of Garrett Steele. He can't even tell us what a subpoena is. He kept saying that's a lawyer word. When I asked him under the statute, tell me what official proceeding is, he goes outside of the statute and tells me anything that's involved with the lawyer, that's an official proceeding. That's your lead detective. They want to kill my client. That's what we're playing with his life.
Stop, wait. You just told me this has to do with the tampering case. No one's getting the death penalty for the tampering case.
Yeah, but they want
Ms. Bradley's testimony in the murder case is wholly irrelevant. So
they want
let's go back. We're talking about the tampering case. We're talking about the.
We are talking about the tampering, but they're also intermingled with each other. So it's life in prison.
Okay, I got it. Respectfully, over to the defense objection, review motion to take the deposition of Christian Travis and deny it. So I'll get in the appropriate written order. I don't find that her testimony would be relevant in any way, shape, or form. It's not relevant in a homicide case, nor do I find that it's necessary under what's been followed in the tampering case of information or what's required to be proven.
Oh, of course, Judge. Hey, man, I don't like this judge. At least Murphy was, or Murray, or whatever the heck his name was. At least he may have been an old dude, but he was pretty fair.
You're saying for the jury instructions, but you're telling me you listed her as a witness, that means you have good faith belief that you're going to call her as a witness, so you can call her as a witness. Ask whatever questions you want from the jury under oath, but that one's going to be denied. Next, number 5 is defendant's motion to strike.
Judge, can I just ask for a finding of fact when you write that over, please?
With everything that's stated on the record.
All right.
Defendant's motion to strike and or in the alternative response to the state of Florida's motion to allow former testimony of Felicia Holmes. So this kind of mirrors the same as 2 or 3. I mean, I have no idea if Felicia Holmes is going to, she testified at the
She
first trial.
testified in the previous trial, Judge. We actually started to address this motion in the previous hearing on Judge Murphy. Ms. Allenstein actually put a stop to it because he brought up the issue that the court has brought up, which is until she actually takes the stand, we're not, outside the presence of the jury, we're not actually going to know what she's going to do. She has filed through her attorney a notice of her right to invoke her Fifth Amendment privilege. I believe when she was in court, she was either going to say she was going to invoke her Fifth or say that she didn't remember. But I think what's going to end up happening, as Mr. Allenstein suggested at the previous hearing, once we get to her as a witness at trial, she'll be brought in outside the presence of the jury, and then we'll have to come up the inquiry.
So you want me to defer on this until we have a proffer from her?
Correct.
Okay. Is there anything else you want to tell me about your motion to strike, or in the alternative, you want me to consider it as a response?
It's going to look bad for you.
At some point asked to allow.
Because Miss Holmes is very...
You're not asking me at this point.
We
I mean, she went after the freaking attorney last time. She wanted to plead the Fifth. You guys wouldn't let her. I don't think people should be forced to testify if they don't fucking want to. It's your case. You need to prove it. And if people don't want to come forward, they don't want to come forward. And you shouldn't be putting them on ankle monitors, making them lose their jobs, all to secure a freaking a stupid testimony. That's not okay. You guys are playing very dirty. And she let it be known on in the last trial. I don't like that. That was another reason why I don't get.
obviously anticipate her invoking or saying she has no memory, but until it actually happens, I mean, she might not show up, which is another issue. But you might then saw it.
She's on a bracelet, but she can show up or not, or listen.
Okay.
Right, but until we reach that point.
Anything else you want
Yeah,
to tell me
Judge,
about?
they filed this motion, and I put work in my motion.
It's just sad. Like they have to go to this extent. Put you on, like even Mariah. If she doesn't want to testify, she doesn't want to testify. They shouldn't have to testify if they don't want to. Forcing people to testify is not okay. All because you want to, quote unquote, as you would say, it would be the nail in the coffin. Whatever. You don't know what the heck. And what Felicia said last time, she was very angry. She said, yeah, I don't know. And then she told off Christina Bradley. She didn't want to be there. You guys are affecting people's lives just because you want to secure testimony. You don't see the defense doing that crap.
Actually, Ms. Bradley filed it, they incorporated it, they have not withdrawn it, so it's their intentions to move forward. Mr. Griffiths is correct, she does have to show up here and testify. That's why I put that email there that Ms. Bradley sent. And if you actually look at the response to Ms. Buckley, was supposed to turn over all these emails, she never concluded that email conveniently. But that email is sent the day before this motion is filed, saying what? I've done all the research, and from my research, it shows that Ms. Holmes would have to show up to court and plead the Fifth. I'll file the motion if she shows up to court and pleads the fifth, and then she doesn't have to come back here anymore. I find it disingenuous, and unethical for the state attorney to be advising a witness to plead the fifth on the stand, much less advising them how to testify whatsoever.
Didn't she have her own lawyer?
She has her own lawyer, Mr. Barris.
You're not giving
I'm certainly not giving her any advice.
But that is Ms. Bradley.
Ms. Bradley is no longer
Ms.
the
Barris, but you are moving forward on her motion. So that is Ms. Bradley telling Mr. Barris that your client needs to show up and plead the fifth. So now Mr. Griffiths is saying, oh, we are going to move forward, but she needs to show up and she needs to plead the fifth. If it's his intention and he knows that she's going to plead the fifth, it's not proper to bring that up in trial or in front of the jury.
Well, I agree. I mean, that won't happen in front of the jury. If I don't remember it on my own accord, I'm sure you all will remind me, and I'll send the jury out. We'll bring her in outside of the presence of the jury for her to vote and see what she thinks.
So what it sounds like this is actually agreeing judges are not going to be moving forward their motion to have her deemed unavailable. They plan on having her come to court, so I move this right to motion because it seems that's what they're saying themselves.
I'll defer on your motion at this point. It's not grand organized. It was a game pending. To do it properly with Ms. Holmes at the appropriate time. I'll let you decide argue, whatever they want to argue, you can take it from there.
At least Judge Murphy was fair.
Okay, number 6, motion for scheduling order. So I read this, and I also did review again 3.220 subsection H, the discovery deposition. And I quote, "A party taking the deposition shall give reasonable written notice to each other party and make a good faith effort to coordinate the date, time, and location of the deposition to accommodate the schedules of other parties and the witnesses to be deposed. Notice shall state the time and the location where the deposition is to be taken, the name of each person to be examined, and a certificate of counsel that a good faith effort was made to coordinate the deposition schedule." So at the end of the day, I consider this more of a professional courtesy. If the parties want to be courteous to each other, that's always kind of preferred, I guess. But if the parties don't want to be courteous to each other, you don't have to wait for one state attorney to tell you, set the deadline.
Okay.
Mr. Devens has now been in custody for 2,202 days, okay? And if one state attorney is not available, maybe one of the other two assigned to this case can stand in. And if all three are not available, maybe one of the other 150 state attorneys upstairs might be able to sit in, but you don't have to wait on them. So,
Thank you so much, Judge.
I mean,
Just so you're clear, you're not advising Ms. Liberty unilaterally set the motion. She's
no, it's not unilateral, she can
still
coordinate.
coordinate with us.
If I'm getting, I read the motion, she says she's, I mean, I have one state attorney who telling me he's working 1 day a week here, is that right? So that's 80% of the time it's off the table, and just being told that I can't show up these depots, I won't do it. You don't have to wait, set the depots, subpoena the witnesses, and if someone doesn't answer a subpoena, file the appropriate motion, and I'll conduct an indirect criminal contempt proceeding. It's time to.
If looks can kill, like she's shooting
The
daggers.
other issue is then is that Ms. Liberty must properly coordinate and must properly notice the state. This is a return, I know, but
I just read the rule. She doesn't have to coordinate anything. She has to make a good faith effort.
Right, she has to make an effort.
She has to
for
put
it.
a certificate on the bottom that says, so I tried, they told me no.
So what has happened in the past is that she has asked for dates, we provide dates, and then she schedules dates out or times outside of them.
Judge, he's actually lying to the court right now. I sent it out every
Please,
email.
please, stop. She's gonna set her down. She has to put a certificate of good faith. You all feel that that has been submitted in error, you file the appropriate motion, and then what would be a wonderful use of this court's time is I'll have a hearing with 6 lawyers, 7 lawyers, because you all can't sit down. So in case I'm not making my feelings on this point clear, I'm not prejudging anything, but talking to a judge about trying to agree to set depots in the death penalty case is absurd. And I'm embarrassed for both sides. I'm embarrassed. The motion for scheduling order is denied. You don't need a scheduling order. Set your depot. I'll enter the appropriate written order. Next, number 7. Defendant's third motion to recall the forensic images of the cell phones belonging to Christopher Thomas and Anthony Williams. I read this motion. So State, let me start with you on this one. Do you have anything from the cell phone downloads of Christopher Thomas and Anthony Williams that has not been turned over to the defense at this point?
Judge, again, this one is Ms. Buckley's purview, so she filed a written response back on. Sorry, her service got rid of it.
It was May 20th.
May 20th, 2024. I think the issue that Ms. Buckley had, and I'm probably going to be speaking out of turn on this one, is that there are contents of the phones that are not relevant to the case. And so some items have been turned over, but not all the items. But I am not, this is one where I am lacking in knowledge.
That's
Wow.
okay. The state doesn't get to decide what's relevant, what's not relevant. These are the homicide.
It's a homicide. These are homicide victims. I think it should be relevant because you're trying to pin this man on their murder. So that means the defense needs anything and all. If you have exculpatory evidence on those phones, the defense needs it. What are you trying to hide?
Yes.
Just turn over everything.
Well, Judge, I can tell you, I took part in it.
Oh,
It's
here
not
you
relevant.
go.
We have to turn it over, we have to make it available for inspection. We
Yes.
have a number of dates, we
Okay.
scheduled that, we told them they could come again. There were multiple days when we sat there, waited for their investigators, came hours late.
She's like, again, so I wouldn't
If I
have
may
to
finish, Your Honor, I was the one who was personally there that day with him and our investigator. We continued, anytime they want to come see it, we have had an investigator from our office, the computer, and their investigator there. Sit
Is it
down.
something?
Why not just give them a copy? I'm not understanding. Why don't you just give them a copy? Man, you want to play all these fucking games.
Where they can just stick a thumb drive in and download what you got, and that's it?
Thank you.
Why can't they do that?
As Mr. Griffin said, Ms. Buffalo is the one with the most knowledge of all the contents of the phone, and that's why it's all discussed in her response. But regardless, the state's obligation to make it available, we have.
See, I feel you, Judge. I feel you, Judge. This is you are 6 years into this trial. Or, well, it's not even a trial. You've already had one trial, and you haven't even handed it over from the first trial? What are you doing? Like, if you have a legitimate case and you have nothing to worry about, and you want truth, and you're not really, you don't care whether you win or lose, you just want to make sure the facts are presented and a jury can make a decision from there. You shouldn't care about winning so much that you're hiding evidence from 2 victims that were victims of unaliving. And you got one person sitting in prison or jail for 6 years waiting trial, and you haven't turned over that evidence saying, oh, it's irrelevant to the case? No, it is relevant. They are victims of a homicide. So whoever they had beef with, whoever they were communicating with, that is evidence that may help the defense, and I think you don't like it.
Continue to, anytime they want to
But make it
schedule.
available, one of the things they make it available for is to copy it. They're allowed
If
to
it's
copy
available
it.
to be copied. Ms. Buffalo, and that's why this is one of the motions we said that she would be prepared to argue, is of the opinion that she
You
filed
already
the
went
whole.
to trial. You already went to trial?
And it was.
You already went to trial.
Yes,
This is the decedent's cell phone.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, over the state's objection, this motion is granted in full. Make the appointment, go over there, download everything that they have.
I'll drop off the drive to you.
oh, no, they have to come.
Yeah, you gotta redo it. That's what the rule says. Available for copy inspection, so it's available for copy, so go copy.
This is what is my suggestion, because it's accelerate download. If they wanted to copy it, now I can have my expert come and do an actual rip of the phone then. Can I do?
And they can write it down based on digital
They
forensics.
just copy what you want. Don't you all have it down?
Right, their expert can do that, but as she's suggesting she wants her expert, we can absolutely do it regularly, where they set up an appointment with BSO Digital Forensics, and they do a download with them, that
Or they
process
can give me their download. I don't understand where I, but now, the first time I have to go to their office, to give me download. I never. They usually say, bring us a drive and we'll download it for you.
What do you want? Which is your preference?
I will get my experts to do our own download
Okay.
of the phone. So where we need the parameters though, so when.
There's no
where-
parameters. just make an appointment. Listen, I'm not gonna make appointments.
Okay.
If you all can't work that out, I don't know what to tell you. Okay, go appeal before DCA and say, we can't make appointments and treat each other like civilized human beings when we have to come over and down. You get to down.
And I just wanted to be clear on the state's response that Ms. Buckley filed, that she would be the one to argue that we're not prepared to argue does in there numerous times cite how that would be a departure from the essential requirements of the law based on all of the 10 pages that she filed herself.
Listen, I understand. I understand. I agree with your motion. It's a capital case. Again, I want to keep repeating myself. It's a capital case. She's gonna download it. That's the real one. Last, number 8.
Yeah, why are you so
Mr.
afraid?
Jones.
That's a good thing for Melly. That's a good
did
thing
read your
because
motion.
it might
What
have
else do you
something
want?
on there for you.
I will rest on the motion other than to say to the court that under the rules, since it's related to the murder case, they are obligated to give it to us. And I think the court ruled that since defense counsel has not been charged or a defendant in the case, and they've had this information for over a year, nothing's been done, that it does not qualify as an ongoing.
Hey, Trey.
In addition to that, that they are obligated and they cannot hide behind the open investigation provision when it deals with information on charges against Mr. Demings, specifically the murder and the tampering. And they've indicated
They've already tried to hide the evidence from the decedent's phones. Of course they're trying to hide other crap. This is crazy. And for him to already have gone to court and trial and he hadn't had the information he needed from the decedent's phone, I mean, that could exonerate him. This is crazy to me.
that the tampering case is somewhat going to be used in the murder case, as I think they said, consciousness of guilt. Furthermore, I know the court has told us to talk to Mr. Devin concerning the potential conflict, and they have alluded to the conflict today. He doesn't know how to make that decision because he doesn't have sufficient information.
Yeah, they won't release the freaking search warrant. I've never. Why are you guys hiding stuff? And then you wanted to, you don't want to coordinate with her. You don't want to do any of this stuff. And it's like, you guys are being big babies. Big babies.
To determine whether or not he wants to keep Miss Liberty or any of us on the case because of this pending, so-called pending investigation. I mean, it's now over a year. It's more like 14 months that they've sat on this information.
Mm-hmm.
So, state, listen, for the most part, I agree with what Mr. Avison just said. You have a continuing obligation, so when you agree anything that comes from any source that is relevant to the charges against Mr. Demings, you gotta turn that over, right?
Before we, yes, Judge, there's his ongoing obligation for things relevant to his homicide or to his open tampering charge that would be turned over. Having said that, Judge, we weren't noticed for this particular motion today, and we would rather have a full response. The notice says motion to compel.
Oh my God, enough with your whininess. Like, they've been asking about this dang thing for over a month now. You know about it. But now you need to prepare? No. God, he wants to get this show on the road.
We didn't actually receive this with this Liberty's pleadings. This one actually came separately, and we only received it, I think it was 2 days ago.
214 that was filed.
And I honestly, it says motion to compel. Ms. Liberty's filed so many that we were unaware that this was going to be argued today.
Well, maybe if you would hand over the stuff, she wouldn't have to. And here we go, throwing the jabs. And when you're not winning, that's what happens, is we throw the jabs. It's so childish.
Let me hold on that. Here's the last paragraph. Here's what Mr. Avison said. affidavits, search warrants, police reports, the name of many witnesses, and all witness statements related to the Apple iCloud account belonging to Raven. Before I ask you anything, all this stuff belongs to Miss Liberty. Has she asked Apple to just give her a copy?
I believe her lawyer did write a letter asking for the return of all, and they said they're giving them
They're not gonna give her her own thing?
nothing.
So let me just, if you
You
will,
asked for it,
I
and they told
did,
you
I
no.
did actually email, because when they let me know about this warrant, they give you an email that you can address to them. So I sent them an email, they said, hey, we told you, you have to contact their Broward Sheriff's Office to get anything done. So
So
I
Apple won't give you your own stuff?
they said Broward Sheriff's Office. Apple then did sit with me, I went through it, I have access to the iCloud and everything. Well, they will not give me the return of what they got.
Did you have access to the iCloud that has all your stuff on?
Of course, that's just my iPhone.
Well, in that-
It doesn't matter. They have it in their possession.
Listen, I don't disagree with you, but you all are a little more adroit in these technical matters than I am. There's nothing that's outside of what's in her iCloud, everything's in it, right?
I don't know. I don't know what they see, because I believe there are additional search warrants based upon the original search warrant.
Well, I don't know anything about that, but as
I
far as the
understand.
search warrant. I already ordered
There
it.
are more?
As far as police reports.
You got more?
Right?
It's still an open, it's still an open investigation.
It's still an open investigation.
You're trying to hide.
There are no
Mm-mm.
police reports.
There are no police.
Because nothing's happened. Okay, so there's no police report. Then
They're trying to tie the defense's hands behind their back so they can't defend themselves. This is not okay. This is not okay. And he could lose his life. I understand, like, a lot of people think he's guilty and whatnot, blah, 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 and his life should be ripped from him. It's sad that he's going to be the first defendant that this new rule, the 8 to 4, can be put to death. That's scary.
names of any witnesses and all witness statements related to the Apple iCloud, that would be like a custodian of records, right? There's no other witnesses to iCloud except a custodian of records.
It would be Apple or the records custodian certification.
Have you listed a custodian of records?
There's nobody to know, Your Honor. We have not listed either the homicide or the tampering case.
So you would have an ongoing obligation to do that if
We
you
have-
wanted to use any of this.
We have an ongoing obligation to turn over anything that's relevant or may be relevant to either of those two cases. We are complying with our discovery obligations at this time.
All right, so affidavit, that would be, the defendant would be entitled to the affidavit, for example, if they wanted to file a Frank's motion, if they wanted to say that this was incorrect and the judge shouldn't have signed it. But Mr. Devens doesn't have standing to raise any of that, that would belong to his liberty, it's her stuff. There's no case involved in this, so I don't think at this point you tell the affidavit, but listen, this is what I'm gonna.
They're trying to
Okay,
tie
I
the defendant's
find
hands
it
behind
hard
his
to
back.
believe that there are no investigative police reports saying they contacted witness A, witness B to verify or to corroborate whatever is on, whatever they seized, pursuant to their original search warrant. I find that hard to believe that in a year, they come in here and file a motion
Mhm.
indicating that Miss Liberty must get off the case because of the conflict. I find that very hard to.
They only want her off the case because they don't like her. They only want her off the case because she's actually making them do their job. They don't like her because she had the other state assistant or state attorney removed from the case for possible misconduct. They don't like the fact that he got off he had a hung jury the last time. So they're trying anything and everything to get her off the case. They don't like that she's actually holding their feet to the fire and making them do their job.
Believe. And I find it hard to believe that they, in their investigation, did not take statements of potential witnesses. And they say it's interrelated to the murder and tampering.
Well, I mean, they're in a continuing obligation, okay? If we get somewhere down the line and something is put before me that they had material that is required to be disclosed pursuant to 3.220 on February the 18th, and sometime long before February the 18th, and Mr. Griffith is standing here and telling me otherwise, he's gonna have a very large problem, right? A very large problem. So I'm not playing with it.
I appreciate it.
So at this point, I have to take everything at face value. And with that being said, I'm gonna grant your motion in part as follows. State, I'm gonna give you 20 days to turn over anything that you have received regarding the Apple iCloud of Greater Liberty that you intend to use at either trial, okay? And make it as detailed as you can, because if we get forward to the point of a trial, and they stand up and say, Judge, they didn't disclose this, and now they're trying.
Right. Yeah, you ain't gonna do no trial by ambush storage deals. I mean, it's bad enough that you brought in whatever you call it, brought in that stupid Danny Polo dude.
Trying to use it, you will not be using it. It will be barred as evidence at trial, okay? So that's 20 days to turn over anything in the Apple iCloud download that you expect to use at trial in either case, in Mr. Dennett's case. All right, and I'm basically ordering you to comply with the rules, which you already should be complying with. So
With that,
it's otherwise, the defendant's motion otherwise respectfully is denied for the reasons that I stated on the record. At this point, there being no arrest and no charges and no case, I don't believe that there are any police reports. I don't believe she's entitled to the affidavit, and outside of records custodian, I don't believe that there's any witnesses or witness statements. But again, if that turns out to be something different somewhere down the line, I'll address that.
what about the affidavits?
I believe you're entitled to.
If it's not a pending open investigation, and they're alleging certain things that supposedly
You've been entitled to them, but they're not handing them over. They're playing games.
deal with the tampering and or the murder case, then we're entitled to that.
Well, they kiss a turn that over,
Okay?
whether it's in the affidavit or not, whatever it is. He has to, as it relates to Mr. Demings, he has to turn it over. As if it only solely relates, if Miss Liberty, if they're, I have no idea. If they say Miss Liberty went and did X, Y, Z with witness A, I don't know how that wouldn't be considered as relevant to the case. If they want to introduce that in the trial, they're gonna have to turn it over within 20 days. So I think you're gonna have your answer
We'll see.
in 20 days.
We'll see what the response is, and I'm sure we'll be.
So let me go back around to number one. Miss
Oh
Liberty,
yeah,
take
they're
the
gonna be
time.
dirty. They're gonna
I
be
need a
dirty.
motion to compel that was related to the
Look
order
on
that
his
you're now
face. They're
seeking
gonna play
enforced.
dirty
This is back on motion number one.
because they want her off the case. They don't like her.
Judge Murphy granted a motion to compel on February 9th.
Look at his
2024.
face.
You're telling me the motion to compel that I'm looking at is not the correct motion to compel. So I need to know the motion to compel that you believe Judge Murphy was addressing.
Poor Melly. I mean, he just looks like he's defeated. Would you quit showing their mouths? Like, hello, camera dude. Like, that's him. Don't talk about their legal. I mean, you guys need to put your hand over your face because they don't know how to show discretion while you guys are talking.
She's still looking.
Down 440, all right?
Yes, thank you.
I mean, he looks like he's losing it. Hey, bro. When this is over, I'll tell you why we're getting shadow banned.
So docket entry 71 and 70, Judge.
They're gonna pull some underhanded shit. I just have a feeling the state's gonna pull some underhanded shit. I mean, what more underhanded can you get than going after fucking one of his attorneys while there's a death? You know, he's going up for a death penalty case. This is absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely crazy. And people say he deserves it because they think he's guilty. Well, they have to prove to me he's guilty, and they didn't prove that in the first one.
23 cases.
I still have questions.
What docket entry?
I'm a hard mother sucker to satisfy, because after all, people's lives are in their hands.
Judge Murphy signed an order
2 orders.
February the 7th.
Yes, he did.
Oh, she finally found it. Oh, that took long enough.
Excuse me, no, Judge, I filed a motion to set it, right? He filed orders on the 9th, the docket entry 70 and 71. They then, I believe, filed motions for rehearing, and then he filed additional orders saying.
Wait, what date did the motion compel?
The motion.
That he's ruling on, what date did you file that?
February 7th, 2 of them.
She's filed so many motions. Well, if you actually did your job, then they wouldn't have to file so many motions, sir. Crybaby. I can't stand a crybaby attorney. I just can't.
So they filed their motions for hearing on February 13th.
And the one girl must have had her
You're talking
baby.
about
That's
the
why
notice
she
that
ain't
was filed
there.
February 7th, 2024, asking for, it's the same thing you quoted in the pending motion. Proof of all efforts made by law enforcement to serve Mariah Hamilton. And then number 2, email dated April 18, 2023. And then number 3, any and all emails between the state attorney's office and Christopher Barris to arrange Mariah Hamilton's appearance at deposition, correct?
Yes, Judge.
Okay. And you're telling me the state has not complied with this order? They have not disclosed those items to you?
No, they did comply. They gave the, no, I'm sorry, I didn't ever get the 218. I didn't ever get that clarified until we did the deposition at Garrett Steele and he brought them. The subpoenas, I had got an outdated subpoena, which looked to me to be an out-of-country warrant that was good for 90 days. That was issued sometime in 2020.
So they knew that she was out of country.
Put her on notice of Mr. Demon's trial date that we had already conducted and or any depositions. I had asked for any attempts to locate her. I had reason to believe Miss Hamilton had actually graduated from college and walked across the stage, yet they can't find her. So I was just asking for whatever efforts were put there. They moved for a rehearing. That was also denied a year later. If they don't have the items, as I put in my motion, file a response that we don't have these items in our possession or they don't exist. I am literally trying to box them into a statute that I, again, don't think they've met. It's vindictive, but I will take the steps to prove that if I have to.
So
It is vindictive.
you're talking about you need paragraph 1, proof of all efforts by law enforcement agencies to serve Mariah Hamilton with writ to appear at trial. including not only skipped races, searches for employers, searches for enrollment in college, trade schools, or other education. All efforts made between the state attorney's office and Christopher Barrett. Who is Christopher Barrett?
He represents Miss Holmes as well as Miss Hamilton.
He's a lawyer.
He's a lawyer.
Shit, they were sitting in his office right after the first trial, so you can't tell me like she was hiding.
Judge, we have, and the state also filed a response on February 9th, 2025. When the court received it.
February 9th, 2025, which case number?
It was filed yesterday.
It was filed yesterday, I'm sorry, the date on the notice says February 9th. It was filed yesterday. Filed on case number 19-1872 CFNA.
So I didn't receive it, Judge. Is the matter, I was up this
I haven't
morning
seen these.
checking my emails.
So you want me to pause on this one since all these filings are just coming in, and in the interim, maybe you all can kind of resolve this between yourselves. It doesn't very complicated.
Yeah, it's not, but
It's not, but.
So, Ms. Liberty, you want to leave this one pending? I'll defer on it. I'll take no action today. It'll remain pending for our next hearing on all pending motions. You want to do it that way?
Yes, Judge, fair enough.
Okay, so that's all the matters that were noticed for today. I'll sign all the orders momentarily. State, anything else that you need me to do regarding Mr. Dennis? I don't know what you're saying on that.
do you want to address Friday's hearing before we have a moment ago?
Friday's hearing. What's that?
Mr. Barris set a hearing for Ms. Hamilton this Friday. Unfortunately, Ms. Buckle is out, Ms. Collins is out, and I have a conflict, so we were just gonna ask if the court can set it for next Friday.
What is this? Under emergency motion?
The emergency motion for Monica. We just have a conflict, because your JA said it without,
You object, right?
yes.
Okay, I got it. State object. So just, your request respectfully, and I just have someone be here. I'm well aware of the state's position. You object. State, anything else?
Nothing today, Your Honor.
Okay. Defense, anything else you need me to do for Mr. Demis today?
Your Honor, if I may,
Sure.
I'm a great fan of motions and limits. And I've been practicing way too long, as my wife tells me. Every judge I've been in front of handles them differently. And all I'm asking the court is, how do you handle it? I file motions in limine before the trial, not only because, I should say that, always knowing that whenever the ruling is on a motion in limine, it can change because of what happens during the trial. And it may open the door to something that had been in motion in limine, and been told that it can't come in. So I understand that. So one of the purposes of the motion in limine is also so that nothing is said in opening statement to the jurors, so that in case this evidence does not come in, they have not been prejudiced, because they've now heard an opening statement, you're going to hear A, B, and C, and then when the time of trial comes up and the testimony is objected to and it doesn't come in, and therefore we have a mistrial, we have comments supporting the evidence. So all I'm asking the court is, do you not want to hear any of the motions in limine until the time of trial when the evidence is coming in? Or can we do it pre-jury selection and get a preliminary ruling from the court where your rulings would be, it's not coming in or it is coming in, always subject to what the testimony may be?
I don't have any policy, okay, on these specific things. File whatever you want. I'm happy to give you a hearing on whatever you want, but, my experience is that most of these motion limines are based on here's what the lawyers think the witnesses are going to say when they come to court. And the only thing that is consistent in every trial is whatever the lawyers think the witnesses are going to say when they come in here in court, it's not what they say.
No,
So I don't know what the evidence is.
I'm talking more of a situation where the state wants to bring in evidence of what happened during the Civil War. I'm being absurd right now. I'm just saying that it has no bearing on the trial whatsoever. But they, for some reason, want to bring in what happened at the Battle of Antietam.
I would find that to be not relevant.
And that would be something that would be subject to a motion in limine. We wouldn't have to wait until the middle of trial, because that would be something that the court on its own prior to trial could make that ruling. So that's what I'm saying. But I'm asking
on things like that where we're not waiting to see whether the door is open. Can we file those motions?
Sure. File whatever you want. Again, the best practice would probably be for you all to talk to each other about it.
It's a lot of talking, we don't come to a lot of
I
resolutions.
guess that's not how things are gonna go. So, yeah, file whatever you need and, I'll set it for you. And I'll give you hearings on it. Defense, anything else I can do for you?
I have an odd request, but
Yes,
if you
ma'am.
would entertain me,
Yes,
because
ma'am.
it's out of the box, but in light of these, allegations, that I'm, I guess, trying to murder or take a hit out on Danny Polo, it came to my attention that Danny Polo might be suffering from some type of mental illness at this point. We heard in the last trial, he thought somebody had a hit out on him. He applied to the court, we found out he had pictures out there in the public domain. And now, 2 years later, I'm being accused of trying to kill Danny Polo. I don't know exactly, I don't know the affidavits, but it's a homicide, it's inactive, and it's Danny Polo's picture, and I'm directing gang activity. I think at this point, Mr. Polo is in need of an evaluation to determine if he even has the capacity to sit and testify in this case or any other case, because.
Oh, now she's trying to kill the gang expert? Wow. That's impressive.
A defense attorney, saying a defense attorney is trying to murder him now, because that is the premise of this so-called investigation, is I'm trying to kill Danny Polo. That's the witness that they're saying I'm tampering with, because he was impeached, not once, but twice.
Okay, the request
Is that he undergoes a psych evaluation before he's allowed to testify further in this case.
I think, because I don't entertain or motions, but I think you're talking about challenging the competency of the witness, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so I think if you have that concern, I guess you need to file the appropriate written motion regarding the competency of the witness, and then I will give you.
Thank you.
Okay, anything else?
One ancillary matter.
Yes.
Ms. Buckaloo is requesting court previously entered an order about including these cases she didn't heard on Zoom. Ms. Buckaloo is asking if you would expand that order a little to allow her only to appear on Zoom.
I would be happy to allow all the lawyers to appear on Zoom, but based on what happened, just caused me to enter that order.
What I think
I would need to know, because all of your names are out there in the public domain.
She was asking for Friday for the hearing of Mr. Barrett.
Why are you guys crying?
Right.
Like, here we go.
But even going forward, the court can limit people who come in and only just allow her in, forbid everybody else from coming in.
I completely agree with you, but based on the creative nature of the viewing public out there, if I get 7 or 8 or 9 people that all sign in on the same name, then I'm not quite sure how you want to handle it.
Well, we can verify which account Ms. Buckaloo actually is. That's the case.
I'm happy to have all the lawyers.
Thank you.
Supreme Court says I'm supposed to do that. I entered the order that I entered because for the reasons that I put in the order.
No, I
It's
won't.
the only case I've ever had to do with.
Right. And it's the only reason we're asking now. We were fine appearing in
Okay.
person, but obviously with
No problem.
our ongoing issues.
Maybe off the record, like if the parties want to talk to each other and agree to each other on some code names that you want to use, and only you all will know them. Then I'll let those names in to the Zoom meeting, and that'll be it. But that will require you all to talk to each other and agree on something. So maybe we can move the wheels on the wagon.
As Mr. Erickson said, there's a lot of talking. There's just not a lot of recording.
Okay, understood. All right, so Mr. Demings will remain set for trial, September the 10th at 9 o'clock. It sounds like I will see all of you next Friday, or a couple Fridays down the line, March 7th. Or is it next Friday or this Friday?
This Friday is
This Friday,
Mr.
regarding Ms. Hamilton's motion. Do you all want me to let me ask you first, do you want me to set another hearing for all three motions at some point?
The ones that we have, we're not prepared to go forward on this time, so now.
There's nothing else you need to do?
No.
Ms. Liberty or anyone else on behalf of the defense, besides the one that I'm holding in abeyance right now that I'll have to set at some point. You want me to give you a date to hear that and any other motions that I can hear at that time?
Let's just take a date, and if we need to cancel it, we can cancel it, but I'd rather have a date than not have a date.
Okay.
Everybody's giving me dirty looks.
How about Tuesday, April 1st? Tuesday, April 1st.
You know that they don't like you.
I am supposed to be in trial, but I.
You impeached their gang expert.
I believe, the trial is your honor.
So you'll
Well, I have high hopes that trial will be done, but if not, you'll be here.
I'll be here, but I believe we'll still be in that trial, yes.
Defense, April the 1st, 8:45.
That's fine, Your Honor.
Okay.
In addition to that, on this Friday, on the, emergency,
I'm sorry to interrupt, I'm sorry, Judge, I'm actually, if we do it that morning, I would not be able to start probably until like 10:30. I had to change it to that morning for Judge Diamante's, I have about 12 victims coming in on that. Sorry.
You want to do it at 1:45? I'm still in Miss Collins' trial. The lunch break is from 12:30 to 1:45.
That's fine, we'll take 145.
1:45 p.m. on Tuesday, April 1st.
perfect day. In addition, this Friday on the Hamilton motion, Mr. Dennis requests to be
Yeah, he'll be on the docket.
there. Fair enough.
He'll be here. He's in town.
Of course he wants to be
Okay,
there.
So I guess I'll see all of you this Friday, which is Friday, February the 21st, at 8:45 a.m. Again, this trial remains set. September the 10th at 9 o'clock. I hope you all have a good rest of the evening. Thanks, Judge. Thanks for your patience. Ms. Wilcox, is that otherwise include the FT docket? Oh, what for the hearing? Correction. So actually, it'll be in recess until 3:30 p.m. this afternoon. So, all the nice. Madam Court Reporter, I do not need a court reporter. As much as you're, I'm sure you realize that you're only at 45. Oh, right. And Gary, it's also just fees this afternoon. Oh, no.
Okay, Judge.
Just one.
I'll be here.
Good thing.
Yeah.
You guys should do that.
You're doing a hell of a job.
Okay, it's all over. I guess Melly's girlfriend goes to what do you call it? It goes back to court on Friday. So I guess tomorrow I will be streaming. Anywho, yeah, Jordan, are you still in here? Okay, you are still in here. Yeah, I'm telling you, bro, this case is fucking wild. Wild. Okay, the reason why people get shadow banned, this is the number one reason. I'm going to tell you what. If you subscribe to people's channels and you don't go to them, they'll shadow ban you. So you need to make sure people earn your subscription. In other words. I know it's dumb, but the reason why they do that is because the whole, buying subs, stuff like that, that's why they do it. Is they think you're a bot. Or somebody paid for you to be a sub, So you get shadow banned that way. Yeah, you can't, if you don't go to people's channels, don't sub to them. You have to at least go a couple times before you sub to them. Yeah, it's crazy. And it's crazy nowadays because of how they got the you need to sub to comment crap. But still you'll get shadow banned. So just FYI. I found that very interesting. And I would go through your subscription list. Whoever you don't go into their chats or don't watch in the clouds, whatever, I would unsub. I would unsub. And then the more consistent you are, the less shadow banny you become. Because I've been doing that too. I've been going through my list. And if I'm not up in your clouds and I'm not, I rarely type or anything, then I don't need to be subscribed to you. You know what I mean? A subscription doesn't matter. It's the views. So that's what they're getting down to. Even though you need the subscriptions to get monetized. You know what I'm saying? So I just thought I'd let you know. So I guess tomorrow, which is tomorrow. Tomorrow's the date. Is tomorrow Mariah's thing? I think tomorrow's Melly's ex-girlfriend's hearing. It's a motion hearing, and I think that he just denied them. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Yeah, so just go through your subscription list, and then the more you do, the less shadow banny you become. But if you're sub to them and you actually watch them, you don't have to type or whatever, but you actually watch them, then that channel's safe. But if you are sub to them, you're not even in the clouds, you don't watch them ever, you don't drop down, all that stuff, then unsubscribe from them. One way or another. Also, I'm gonna share some like I have an idea. Bro. And I'll email you. DM you about it. Yeah, I do too. I go through it every like once a week. I at least go and get through it. Like, do away with them. Like, you got to earn my subscription now. Excuse me. Because you know how I go all over YouTube. Like, I'm everywhere. And usually, like, I watch a video or I like their one video, but then I never go back. So it's I got to stop doing that. If I'm not going over there, that much, then my subscription ain't gonna matter. It's not gonna matter. So the more active you are in the chats, is the safer you'll be, that you won't be shadow banned. But all right, okay. I guess I will see everybody tomorrow. I don't know what time her appointment or her thing is. I'll have to rewatch it to find out, and then I'll schedule it. Yeah. So I will be here tomorrow to go through all that. And then I guess he doesn't have another hearing till the 7th. I think the 7th. This Friday and then the 7th. So yeah, and then I'm gonna look up to see when the YSL Part 2 starts, because I know it should be starting soon. And I know next week, the one guy that got acquitted, he goes up for court for his bond hearing to see if he gets out. So it's pretty sad that the only one that was acquitted on the RICO charges and everything, he's still stuck in jail. So yeah. All right. I will definitely be there. Will you, Jordan, put your gaming channel in the whatever you call it, in the thing. Also, And I really shouldn't give her any shine because after the crap she pulled the other day. But I'm waiting to find out because I am going to take notes. I won't, she can rest assured I will never use her content ever again. But Nick at Night, she got an interview with another juror. And so she's going to post it whenever. So I'm kind of waiting on that. And I'm going to be taking notes so I can, bring it here because, yeah, we know what happened last time, even though I shouldn't be giving her any shine. But still, I'm going to give her shine because I'm the better person. And I think it's cool that she was able to secure that. So if you are interested in the the A$AP Rocky trial, like how they came to the verdict, Nick at Night will be doing almost a 2-hour interview with another juror, and this is juror number 1. So it's not the same juror that she had before, I don't think. I think this is a whole different one. So yeah. Right, Jordan. Like she sold that other interview, like she's done. But this one, like the girl, the girl put confidence in her and stuff like that. So I think it's really cool. Maybe, and the other juror that said like they thought the gun was real. No, there were some people on that jury that thought the gun was fake. So it's a conflicting kind of story, which is cool because I like that. I like to find out, different people's state of mind. And she just said she's going to drop it. So I don't know if she's going to keep it on or she's going to put it behind a paywall afterwards. So I'm trying to make sure like the homegirl hasn't fucking she hasn't dropped it yet. Is because I really want to watch that. I really, really, really want to watch that. Even though I'm a little bit upset with her the other day, but hey, it happens. And shout out to her because she did score an interview. So, alrighty, I am gonna get out of here. Everybody stay blessed. Have a great day. It's cold as a mother effer here. So, I really appreciate everybody that supports me. If you're checking this out on the replay, please hit the like, share it, drop in the comments. Let me know what's up. You may not agree with what I think, and that's okay. Because, we all were born with 2 eyes and not the same view. All right. Okay. Everybody have a blessed night or blessed day. Peace.
Turn me up, AV.
Put your eyes on me, yeah, like the spotlight. Recognize me showing love, then got my grind right. Ain't never since day one to love it on side. And since you got my back, I got your back for life. Yeah, pretty honesty. Know just what it is, I got it on me. And you hold me down, you like my homie. Just know I got you down, just what it gon' be. Definition of bestie, definition of friendship, definition of rider, definition relentless. She's a strong woman, she's a sweet lady, she's a great mother. Let your pain get achy. Yeah, I made that girl on YouTube. She never dims my light or put me in her dark mood. And I thank you, you appreciate it. You're my favorite girl on YouTube, and I can't fake it. Who still got faith in me? Make me feel like big. DJ Khaled voice, pretty hot. Who still got faith in me? Make me feel like big. DJ Khaled voice, pretty hot. Yeah. Met a little shawty on this show called BDP. You know what I'm talking about? Shit, we been cool ever since, my nigga. You know what I'm talking about? Put your eyes on me, yeah, like the spotlight. Recognize me showing love, then got my grind right. Ain't ever since day one, the love been on side. And since you got my back, I got your back for life. Yeah, pretty honesty. Know just what it is, I got it on me. And you hold me down, you like my homie. Just know I got you, dog, just what it gon'